My name is Kathy Baumgartner-Hetrick, and Steve Philippi and I undertook a very large project this year of the 250th anniversary of Palmyra. We have decided to do some oral histories of people who have lived in Palmyra. Most of them are over the age of 80 or 85, and we asked them to tell us their story about Palmyra so that we could put together a DVD that you're going to watch now that has the stories of Palmyra based on the people who have lived here. We hope you enjoy it. We've had a fun time doing it, and we think you'll learn a lot about Palmyra and the history of Palmyra through the stories of Palmyra.
My name is Marie Dietrick. I was married to Pastor Gerhard Dietrick, who was the pastor who was here when they built Palm. The reason we came to Palmyra was because after spending 6.5 years in Germany, working for Lutheran World Federation, we decided to come home because my husband's father was dying, and we stayed home. And as my husband looked for a church, he said he wanted to go where they wanted to build a church. And when he got called to preach in Palmyra and found out that they wanted to build a church, this is where he wanted to be. So when they called him, he accepted right away. At first we worshipped in the old Palmyra Lutheran Church.
I was going to ask you, where was that? Because that Palm Lutheran congregation is one of the oldest in Palmyra. And where were they before?
Well, the church that I saw was on a Cherry Street and a Railroad Street, but they had to take that church down, much to my regret, because it was a lovely church, but they decided to take it down and build a new one that exists now. And the old one was really a very beautiful church with a lot of wood in it and stained glass windows, dedicated windows, and I really was so sorry to see it come down. And finally, when my one daughter was getting ready for college, I began to substitute teach. And it ended up that I was asked to stay, and I taught there at Hershey Elementary School for 28 years.
Goodness.
Then I retired. During that time, I spent 10 years on the Palmyra School Board.
Now, why did you choose to do that, or how did that all come about?
Well, actually, some people came to me and asked me if I would run. And I was the first woman to be on the school board. I really enjoyed the work on the school board, and I thought we had wonderful schools. I thought the schools put out people of quality to go to college. I felt that school board tried to support sports for the children. I think Dr. Dell, who was the superintendent when I was on the board, he was really firmly interested in having a great curriculum academic program. And so I enjoyed working with him too. I worked at church. I used to teach the first year of catechetical class for many years. And we had an assistant minister, Pastor Shannon, who taught the second year. And my husband taught the third year. Imagine that, children going 3 years to be confirmed. And so that went on for several years, but I don't think they go that long anymore.
We live in sort of an instantaneous society, and people want things quicker. That is interesting. Okay, so you were on the school board, you were busy raising a family, you taught during that time period, you were a pastor's wife. Were there other things that you had time to get involved in Palmyra, or that was pretty much?
Not really, because with 7 children, although they were all pretty self-sufficient and they all had things they had to do at home, there was still a lot of work for me. When I came home, I used to do laundry at least 3 times a week. And I used to cook for 9 of us. And when I started teaching, and I still had 2 young ones at home, my parents came from Boston every year till they were all in school, and that was a big help to me.
Oh, okay.
Because I was hesitant about taking that position at school because I had this feeling that I wouldn't like to take my 2 children outside of the home.
Mm-hmm.
So with my mother coming, that didn't happen.
May I ask you how old you are?
I will be 90 years old in January.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you had a very active life in those 90 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
I never said no if I thought I could fit it in.
Mm-hmm.
And because I like being with people, and everything in Palmyra seemed to be something that you were welcome to do if you wanted to. I never felt strange in Palmyra, and that might be because I was a minister's wife and my congregation welcomed us.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are people that I've talked to who have come to Palmyra, and they have felt it took them a long time to be accepted as someone who really isn't Palmyra.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have that experience, and I hope not many do. I hope everyone feels welcome in Palmyra. Sadly to say, I don't think even Palmyra people are attending church the way they should. I remember Sunday schools being full, and being really full, maybe. And I remember my husband confirming large classes of maybe 30 to 40 children. And you don't find that today, which is very sad.
It is, and that's...
Because, I really think what they learned there developed the character that they have today. And I hope people have found what they feel is a good substitute to raise their children with integrity and honor and love of their town and the people in the town, their families. That's what I always wish for young children growing up.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And as I'm getting older and having some health difficulties, I'm always grateful to be in church. I'm not very active there like I once was, but that is where I feel the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I would wish that people would understand what I'm talking about, the strength you get from worship and being part of a worship community. Whatever their faith is, to uphold it. That's the only thing I can tell to people that's really basic in my heart.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I can understand why your daughter was upset coming in and seeing people here, but this was wonderful. I appreciate that you left us in your house today, and